Let's now continue with dbContext. So basically, dbContext is a class that inherits from dbContext. It manages model classes using dbSetType and implements identity tracking, change tracking, and API for CRUD operations: create, read, update, and delete. It as well provides link-based data access. It's recommended to be in separate class library, so don't keep it in the same. That's not good practice. As well, don't forget to reference anti-framework library using NuGet Package Manager. If you have a lot of models, it is recommended to use more than one dbContext. What is dbSetType? Basically, that's a collection of single entity types. So we got different operations: add, attach, remove, and find. It's used with dbContext to query database. And here an example. That's how dbSet looks like. So we got public class dbSet, which is generic. That's why we got from t-entity. And this thing inherits system.data.entity.infrastructure.dbQuery from t-entity. Where is the condition where t-entity inherits class, and that's member of system.data.entity. How does it look like code? Well, here you got public dbSet from posts, and here we get and set. So we understood some general things about dbContext and dbSet. Let's now see an example. So what we have some using system.data.entity. In previous slide we saw that dbSet is member of system.data.entity. After that we use codefirst.models. That's internal inside our project. So codefirst is the name of our project, and .models is the folder. What we're saying here, public class forum context inherit dbContext. So here, how actually we're doing it. We're saying first our application name, forum, or whatever, and after that context. You can call it forum, basically entities. That's the first one. You can call it forum dbContext, or you can call it forum context. So you got three different options. Choose which you want. All of them are fine. Basically, I prefer this one because it's the most descriptive one. So you're saying the name of your application and you're adding that dbContext, database context. It's not some context of your application, some factory or some service or anything else. You're saying that that's your context for a database. And so, enough with naming. We're saying forum context that inherits dbContext, very important. So, that's basically our dbContext that inside it we're going to have different models, and these different models are basically different tables. How I'm defining model? Well, I'm saying public dbSet, the type, which is category, the model, and the name, categories. Usually that should be, you can see that there is difference in plural, so it's a single category, and here the name is multiple categories. Similar for the rest. You got public dbSet from post, and after that posts. dbSet for post answer and post answers, and dbSet from tag, and after that you got tags. Okay, and here you can see it. So basically that's the way. Now if I want to access, let's say, a categories table, I would say var forum dbContext is equal to new forum context, or I would name it dbContext. And here I would say now var categories is equal to forum dbContext dot categories dot toList. toList you get all of them. But I can say var let's say now posts is equal to forum dbContext dot posts dot toList. Again, all posts. You can, of course, using link, you can apply any conditions. So var post answers is equal to forum dbContext dot post answers, and here dot where post answer is going to post answer.id is equal to, let's say, or it's bigger than 5. and here say dot to list, and now I have multiple. Or another thing that I can say dot where pa is going to pa.id is equal to 5. And after that say dot first, or I can say dot first or default. So using link, you can type basically anything you want, as far as you're aware of link and how to use it. Okay, so that was for DB context. Thank you for watching.